Guys,
Look at you. You've always been that small?
Yes.
Are you sure? You have like,
Yeah.
you know how you get older, you get smaller?
Well, you do shrink a little bit.
I think that's what's happened to you.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. You're a lot smaller.
Possible. I mean,
All right.
I'll take it.
Jeff.
I'm Beth.
I'm Charlie, and... What? Sorry, we were talking about shoulder nipples.
Take two.
No, we're rolling this shit.
Welcome to Bourbon and Ballz.
Yes.
And shoulder nipples.
Oh, so, all right. So,
Weekend.
coming up here, you're going to see an interview that we did with Northside Distilling that we went there last weekend. I hope you guys do enjoy it. It was a lot of fun.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
It really was a great time. Those guys were fabulous. They were very gracious.
Yes.
They just rolled out the red carpet to us, too.
They really did.
Yeah.
They really did.
It was great.
Including,
The winner of our recent 12-bottle blinding.
yes. And they gave us this beautiful Rookwood pottery
Yeah, that's very nice.
decanter.
Yep.
And I don't know much about Rookwood.
I know I love you.
Huh?
It's just
Oh, I don't know much, but I know I love you.
Yes.
But so
You look small. You look
handcrafted.
small.
I am. I'm tiny.
No, I mean really small. Like a munchkin.
Oompa loompa.
Like you really look like a munchkin. Look at you. You've always been that small?
Yes.
Are you sure? You have like,
Yeah.
you know how you get older, you get smaller?
Well, you do shrink a little bit.
I think that's what's happened to you.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. You're a lot smaller.
Possible. I mean,
All right.
I'll take it.
Look at how small you are. It looks like you're like,
Maybe you guys are towering me this time.
I know, but it looks
I
like,
do feel like you guys are like right in front, and I'm a little bit further
I know,
back.
but it looks like you're like photoshopped.
I'm not photoshopped.
It
I
sure
assure
looks
you.
like it from here.
Well, okay.
What are we talking about?
Rookwood and
Oh, yeah.
their pottery and this beautiful.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, so we got. They gave us each one of those, which was fabulous.
Mhm.
We were fortunate enough that I brought home 2 barrels from them.
You did.
So our brewer is going to be using those to
Which is?
Wes
No.
Pupil.
Your name. Your name.
Oh, New Ales Brewing.
Yeah.
New Ales Brewing.
To do a collab.
We're going to do a collab.
As the
We're
kids
definitely going to
say.
use their
As
barrels,
the kids say.
as the kids say. We have a tequila barrel and one of their honey bourbon barrels. So I don't know what's going to go in them yet. That's my brewer's decision. But I haven't seen his face light up quite like that in a long time. So he's very excited about that. But those guys were great. And I will say the spirits, aside from bourbon, were delicious.
Yeah, I have never sipped gin, just straight, neat gin. Never, because I would never think to.
Right.
But that gin that they had was just,
It was.
it was great. That gin was great.
And I think you can put that in a lot of cocktails, especially with the summer coming up. You can put that on a lot of summer cocktails that it'd be nice just to kind of sit on the porch with, right?
Yeah, and even,
Well, Jackson, I'm sorry.
yeah,
go
even
ahead.
some of their bourbons are great mixers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jackson had mentioned with their gin, the gimlet.
I didn't know what a gimlet is.
Well, I didn't either because I don't really drink a lot of liquor aside from bourbon. But we when we tried it, it definitely had a very floral essence to it.
Yeah, like lavender.
Yes, and gimlet includes lime juice and simple syrup, and I could really see those balancing out with the floral essence.
Yeah, but the floral didn't knock you over. Like
No.
sometimes
It
you
didn't
get
turn you off.
Yeah, sometimes you'll drink a gin and the juniper in it will just blow you away.
Yeah.
And this was not like that. It was
And that
smooth.
vodka.
Oh, the vodka was just, I mean, you didn't know what you thought you were drinking water.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
tasteless.
that's dangerous.
In a very good way. It was tasteless.
So we highly recommend you guys go down to Cincinnati if you're ever around there. I think it's 922 Ray Street. I
It
think.
is.
Yep.
Yep. Not too far from the FC Stadium.
Yes, Northside Distilling. They're open Fridays and Saturdays.
I think 12 to 8 on Saturday.
4 to 8 on Fridays, and then 12 to 8 on Saturdays. Honest to God, go down there and check them out. They're great people. Say hello to Jackson. Jackson. Tell him Bourbon and Ballz sent
Or
you.
Chris.
Hey guys,
Or Chris, yes, correct.
this isn't no MGP source stuff.
No.
They make their own stuff. They're on site.
Yes.
They barrel it and store it there on site. This is their own distillate. This is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So grain to glass, as they say.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
So I hope you guys enjoy this interview, and we'll hope to do some more here in the future.
But
Yep.
just real quick, you
Yeah.
can also get it in your stores, greater Cincinnati area.
Yes.
So Northside Distillery, they've got a couple different bourbons, vodka, tequila, agave, gin. So their stuff is phenomenal.
And they're about to release their 10-year bourbon.
And they're about to
yeah.
release a 10-year bourbon,
Yeah.
which we tried. And
Oh my God, it's so good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
All right. So we hope you guys enjoyed the interview.
Yes.
All right.
It's great.
All right. Stay tuned. Thanks.
See you. Hey there, I'm Jeff.
I'm Beth.
And I'm Charlie. Welcome to Bourbon and Ballz. As you guys can tell, we are on location here at Northside Distilling here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'll let you guys introduce your guys yourself.
Hi, my name is Jackson.
Chris Leonidas.
So we are here because we like to celebrate our local distillers. And I've been down here before, and quite frankly, we are a fan of you guys, regardless of coming down here. Honestly, so why don't we get into, as far as obviously the how you guys came to be and your history and all that kind of stuff, and tell the folks out there, where you guys are at this point.
Sure. I'll take that one. I'm old and wise. So myself and really me and another close friend, Josh Cook, had a hobby of microbrewing, winemaking, evolved into distilling. And we started to learn more about the laws and the process, and we're really just kind of geek out on tinkering around with things, and it really became fun. It's a whole new level of kind of craft anything than, than
So,
brewing.
Did you do home whiskey? Well, okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe not. No. Yes. There was a little bit. I purchased a still online. So you can buy stills online for essential oils and other legal purposes.
And you could use that same method.
To
Same
distill with? Yeah, same equipment.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's exact same equipment.
Yeah.
Small scale, very small scale.
Interesting.
I had followed, have you guys heard of Kings County Distillery in New York?
Yeah, we did a review on there.
Oh, no way. Okay, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, we did a short on it.
Kings County, I lived in New York. I'm from New York originally, and I was kind of obsessed with that lo-fi DIY grassroots kind of setup. And I started reading about them, watching anything I could find on them, and I was like, we want to do something just like this. This is kind of cool.
Nice.
So I had bought a still. Josh made a still.
Okay.
We were just kind of making stuff together and playing around with it. And a letter came. So the still manufacturers are required to send out, or are required to report sales to the federal government. To the at the time it was ATF, I think. Now it's TTB. So my ex-wife got a letter at the house. What's this letter? You know you're in possession of a still. Here are the laws around what you can and cannot use the still for. So Josh had grown up on a family farm, kind of farm. It was old greenhouses in Northside. And he was, 100-year family on the same property in Northside. And he had this horse barn. It's in some of the pictures around here. And you can see it on the website or social media. It was an old barn. We poured a concrete floor. We brought electric and water in and did all the licensing to get legal, obviously. A couple other buddies, Cincinnati guys, started Thursday nights. We had kind of a Thursday night thing, kind of like what you guys, sounds like Mondays and Thursdays. So we had Thursday nights. We'd all come from work and meet there. We'd get a pizza and some beer, and we'd make a batch. And then it became every week. We were either, mashing one batch, distilling one, bottling one, however it kind of timed up. And one of the guys' cousins is a restaurant owner down here in Cincinnati. And he was opening Pontiac OTR, the barbecue and bourbon kind of vibe place. And we had just released our corn whiskey. And he said, this stuff's great. We can make like a slushy out of this. Oh, yeah. So he was our first real customer.
That sounds good.
It was really good. It was really good.
Oh, man.
And they had it on tap at Pontiac. Yeah. So we went down there, and that was our first customer. It turned into kind of a more legitimate business. And we hired Chris Quartz, who's our first distiller. He's amazing. He's responsible for a lot of kind of the branding and the image that we started. Moved down here. This is all 2013, 14, 15.
Okay.
And then moved down here. It's hard to get people to come to a farm in Northside to drink. It's kind of out of nowhere.
I imagine so.
It's not far from the Comet. It's back there by the cemetery. It's beautiful, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So we came down here, 17. Opened up the bar, brought in other kind of investors to help open the bar. You know, it's hard to kind of spend a lot of money on this stuff, get bigger stills, upgrade from where we were, and expand the products. And it's kind of evolved over the years, the branding, the products, with different people. You know, it's such a craft world. COVID obviously was miserable. You know, it was hard, and then we've been kind of coming back from that and refinding our identity through that process after it. And just recently, myself and Josh have got more actively involved again as the founders. But Jackson's been here a couple of years, and we really want to get back to the community stuff, doing local artist bottles. You know, the John Ruthven bottles. I'm sure you guys have seen. They're beautiful. But bringing in musicians or bringing in artists. We're not Tito's. We're not some big national brand. We're local down here, and I love what the local breweries all do. Yeah. That's kind of what we wanted to model everything after, is kind of how they do it. Like we were talking before, maybe even some kind of seasonal releases. We used to
allows you to do those things, right? As a smaller distillery.
Exactly.
You guys can mess around with that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So and Jackson's really been, Jackson and David, who unfortunately just recently moved back to Columbus, but you guys can talk about the last year or two. We've been doing a lot of events and sponsorships and things like that.
Yeah. What's your story?
So I'm actually a senior right now up at University of Cincinnati.
He's our business brain.
Very good. Alumni here, so we're good.
Okay.
Yep. So, it was funny. My uncle, who's one of the original founders, just kind of reached out to me about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, hey, you want to fund college shop playing with alcohol? I was like,
no,
sure, why not? Let's do it.
Right. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So, where all are you guys distributed at, so our viewers know?
If you go on the ohlq.com, the state website, you can really punch in the brand and it'll tell you every store that carries it. But it's not all over Ohio, but Southwest, Cincinnati, Dayton, touching into Columbus.
Okay.
We're in the process of kind of going through different distributorship in Kentucky. Okay. Obviously, Party Source used to be our biggest Kentucky retail outlet. But that relationship's kind of changed over the years with Heidelberg distributing and things like that. So we're kind of going to be relaunching, I guess, potentially with new or different, more micro distributors, because it's hard. Heidelberg's so massive.
Oh yeah.
And we're not.
Yep.
So trying to find the right partner down there, because it's a different market. But I would say most retail liquor stores in the greater Cincinnati, you can find it. Into Dayton, a decent amount, and less so in Columbus.
So we see their lineup over here where Jeff is at. Jeff, why don't you go through that lineup for us?
Okay. The first one we got here is their 90 proof. This is, I guess, your
flagship.
Your flagship.
Yeah, it's kind of like our base bourbon.
Bourbon.
So that's proofed at 90 proof, so that gives it a clean finish, which also helps blend in well with cocktails. Anything above that, we like to call them sippers, meaning that they don't really mix in as well with cocktails, and that they're meant to be drank straight up. Compared to that goes really good in old fashions, mint juleps, cocktails, kind of like that.
Okay, and what does that usually run?
So that's $39.99 retail.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Next one we got here is one that we all like. We've tasted and loved before.
Yes.
It's the Madagascar bottle. This is the Madagascar vanilla.
Yes.
This is phenomenal, by the way. Again, these are all high ryes, 21% rye.
This one's proof to, what is this one?
This was a
120,
special, right? This was a special release, so we proofed that at 120. It's kind of it's a little bit on the hot side.
I know we love hot.
Yes.
Yeah. But the vanilla does bring out a lot of really good flavor.
So as a side note on that particular bottle, which you can get here at Northside, by the way, Beth or Jeff, you guys want to tell them what happened before too long?
I'll let Jeff do that one.
Okay.
Because
All right. Well, a couple weeks ago, we had our our quarterly blind that we do, and we had 12 different bottles that we blinded. And
everybody brings a bottle. We invite
everybody brings a bottle. The whole premise of it is you bring a bottle that's less than $50, and it's readily available on the shelf. That way, everybody can go out and get it.
Mhm.
And, and that's how we found a lot of different bourbons. And then we went throughout the night. This Madagascar was always at the top of everybody's list. And then what we do is we go through 3 blinds of 4, and then everybody picks their favorite 4 bottles of their own 4
Of the
blinds,
12 selections,
of
yeah.
the 12 selections. And then we blind those.
Oh wow!
And then we do a consensus of what everybody's number one is, and
Refine it down.
right. And this overall majority was the number one.
Oh, wow.
This
Yeah.
one tonight.
And tell them
That's
what
great.
they beat.
Yeah, what would we be?
Yeah.
Well, Knob Creek 9.
Knob Creek 9, which that was a shock. There was Bushwood
Yeah.
and
There's an Oak and Eden. There was,
Granddad 114.
Granddad 114. We had Baker's 7.
yep.
We had oh my gosh,
Traverse City.
Yeah, Traverse City.
You had a few tastes.
We had a few
Yeah,
tastes.
quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, it ran through it all.
Yes.
It ran through the gauntlet,
Really?
and you guys ended up being the best bourbon of the night.
All right.
And so what it is too is, so I own that bourbon because I've been down here before, and the premise is the winner of the consensus gets the prize. Well, I ended up winning my own prize because I was the one that brought the bourbon. I felt bad, but it was nice. It was an aged Honor
He didn't feel bad.
travel blind set from New Riff.
Okay.
It was nice.
yeah.
Sure.
So I didn't mind taking my own prize.
That's why I brought Baker 7 because I wanted that.
Yeah, he wanted it because Baker 7 has done really well on our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the pictures of
Yeah,
from the night.
Yeah, so we had the Northside, we had Baker 7, the Knob Creek 9, we had Brothers Bond, Bushwood, we had Old Forge, which was a Colorado bourbon,
Never heard of that one.
the Traverse City Blueprint, which is one I've never heard of,
Mm-mm.
had Old Granddad, and we had a Jack Daniels Bonded Rye, and then we also had the Midwest Distilling
Yes.
Yeah. And that Oak and Eden honey.
and Oak and Eden Honey,
Right.
right? Yep.
But you guys did very well. We were
Oh,
very
yeah.
excited. So we ended up setting this up before that happened.
Yeah.
And it's just not a setup. So it
No
ended up
way.
being great timing.
After we emailed.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Really recently.
Yeah. So it's not like it's a setup and we're just trying to, brown nose you guys and everything. But, thank God it did what it did.
Well, Ben Chassain, when he watches it, he's responsible for the recipe. That's his baby.
Okay. Well,
Ben
great job on
was
it. That's
amazing,
an
yeah.
Absolutely great job.
awesome bottle. So, and that's one that they can come down here and get, correct? That's not, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
we need to do another batch. You see how small we are.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing lasts very long,
Okay.
especially the specialty. Obviously, the staples last long, but yeah,
Sure.
the
Okay.
unique ones are kind of
Well, that's,
cycled in and out.
Sure.
it's not a bad thing either.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no.
a little more seasonal.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just want to add that on that
That's
second
funny.
bottle. So, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, so these are the 2 bourbons you have. We've got a gin. This is 94 proof gin. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so this is our barrel aged gin. So essentially, it's our base gin, and then it's barrel aged for 3 months to help add a smoky bourbon-esque vibe to it. I find it to be super smooth, with me being more of a bourbon enjoyer than a gin enjoyer.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me even out trying to like gins.
So, would you say it's a good way to get, as far as good entry
Oh yeah,
into gin? Because I'm not, like you said, I'm not a gin either.
Nor am I. Yeah.
So is it a bourbon barrel that it's aged in?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Nice.
What's the cocktail you most make with the aged gin?
I do like a good gimlet. So that's gin, lime, and simple syrup shaken.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bartender talking to you there.
I'm going to pour y'all some of that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And what does the Madagascar, what's that run? What's that bottle run?
That runs for $59.99.
Okay.
Okay.
Still not bad.
Alright.
Not bad.
It's,
Yeah, that was so. And I have your guys' is all your single barrel? All your single barrels aren't Madagascar, right?
No, correct.
Okay, I have your regular single barrel. And I think I bought that one at the store, if I'm not.
That's our
if
probably
I'm
our bigger.
not-
The
I'm
the,
mistaken.
the blend, which is out here, and the regular single barrel.
Yeah.
Two biggest movers through retail.
Okay, yes, I've seen that at our local liquor stores, and I definitely I sought you guys out.
So the brewery owner and me is wanting to say, how can I get a couple of those barrels when you're done with it?
We're actually, yeah, that's the thing. That's why we age a lot of, we've tried aging agave, aging gin, aged rum, because we have these barrels. It's, you know, they take a lot of space, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
You'll see them back there.
It's like a lavender floral.
Well, you didn't pour me any?
Well, you-
Come on. It's Friday.
Well, when you're ready to get rid of some, you just.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what kind of car you got, but take one with you.
I have a Jeep. Well, yeah, I can fit it in my Jeep.
Yeah.
Here's a Jeep.
You roll one back there.
Your license plate number is.
Put the drink down.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big gin drinker, but you can taste the impressions from it staying in the barrel, right? So it brings in that flavor at the end. That's what it's.
It is very floral, but I
Yeah.
can see it doing well
Like
with lime
lavender.
and syrup for sure.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of juniper.
Yeah.
I was just looking, I wasn't sure exactly. It's 3 month on these, 3 months in the barrel.
Okay.
In the early days, when I was talking about the old barn out in Northside, before we really had aged products, because that's the harder part for distillers versus brewers. You can't really get, besides a clear liquid, you can't get anything out fast.
Yeah.
So we were aging and playing with flavors, with agave, with gin,
Okay.
where we buy charred oak and put it in and shake. We were just talking about this morning. Shake it, play with the barrels, move them around, sit them out in the sun, bring them back inside, and come up with different flavors and stuff. But it was kind of fun to play with, just especially the short term aging,
Right.
a month here, a month there. With
So
different
I've noticed that like in a lot of craft distilleries, and I understand why, and not that I would ever begin to want to do this. And hats off to you for you guys getting into this business. I'm sure the grind and all that kind of stuff and marketing. But with the gin and all your clear liquids, that's your breadwinner for the time that you guys start up, right? Because
Yeah,
with
that's all
the
you can do.
bourbon, you got to age it for so long, so you need to get some cash flow in,
Exactly.
and it's an easy turnover. Is that right?
Yeah.
So how long does it take you guys from end to end to get it in the bottle like that?
Depends on the product, really.
Okay.
I mean, a vodka product can go pretty quick. The
Okay.
fermentation process is pretty simple,
Yeah.
especially when you're going to be distilling it down after the fact.
Okay.
Beer's a lot different. It has to be really. You can be a little less precise, I guess, because we're going to distill it so many times after we ferment
Sure.
it. Where beer has to be so much more precision on the
Yes.
front end. But the aging process, once it's the clear liquid, is all very similar to
Okay.
the fermentation process. And then a couple of days, to
Okay,
distill
okay.
it and bottle it. It's very, very simple that way. But the aging, obviously, is the whole bigger. I don't know. It's fun because you can kind of play with it, like you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can get creative. We actually have one barrel in the back from Quartz, our original distiller, and it's just over 10 years now.
Oh.
It's our
Really?
own in-house, made in the barn in Northside.
You gonna release that, or
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, we were talking about when and how, but this
Yeah.
summer probably, towards the end of the summer, maybe do a release on that. We have one barrel of this
Okay.
over 10 years now. Because to come up with 55 gallons
Okay.
of liquid on our little
Yeah.
stills used to take a really long time.
Okay.
It was lots of runs to
Sure.
fill a barrel. Where, when you're running a giant still, you can fill a barrel, no problem. But for us, it was many runs just to
Okay.
fill that barrel up.
Mhm.
It was an adventure. The early days, everything was such small batch, 10 gallons here, 10 gallons there,
Okay.
blending
Okay.
it all together. So, but it's still delicious. We'll let you guys try it later on.
Oh, that'd be great.
I will say I'm not much of a gin person. I mean, I got to have it mixed with something because it's just this. I was a little concerned trying to drink this by itself. Didn't know what I would do, but wow, this is very good.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Very floral.
Yes, very
Yeah.
floral, but like I said, I could see the lime kind of cutting into that floral essence, and the syrup really sweetening it up.
Gins became really popular the past couple of years, I feel like.
It has.
And agave too, but
Yeah.
agave we sell out whenever we make a batch. It's
Oh, really?
gone quick, but agave's become. We're talking next door. There's a nightclub. A full-on nightclub next door, and he was telling us the quantity of tequila he goes through.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the going thing.
it's
now.
the going thing. He's like,
Right.
not no one, but not as many people drinking vodka anymore like they used to. It's more a gin and tequila world.
I don't do well with tequila.
But no, mm-mm.
My wife's here, so she goes test
Shaking her
it.
head.
Yes. So
Yeah. Back in my previous life, I was a DJ, and I had a buddy came in, and we cracked open a bottle of tequila, and we sipped it all night. and I was drunk and sick for 3 days.
Ugh.
And now the smell of
You can't stand it.
it, nope.
We won't open one of those. That's why we didn't put it on the bar.
But see, the thing is, up until recently, I've found some bottles that have been aged in bourbon barrels, and I can drink those.
Okay, just like
This, yeah. Just for whatever reason, it takes that edge off, and it's just
Okay.
Yeah, got it on the bar.
So, what's that last bottle there? We got.
The last bottle we got here is the vodka. It is 80 proof. Anything you say about this?
So the vodka, it's 6 times distilled and 2 times carbon filtered. So it's
Okay, so I have no idea what the hell that means. So
Clean.
it's very clean.
So is that a normal process, or do you guys is that like, I don't know, is that like normal in a lot of vodkas, or where does that rank, and what do you know it to be?
Yeah, for a lot of vodkas, it's pretty standard. Some distilleries will go through the extra steps of distilling it more.
Okay.
The goal with vodka is to get it to taste like nothing.
Well, that's why I never understood vodka. But obviously you're gonna put it in a drink.
It's drank for a
That's
different
all I'm
reason,
saying.
right?
Do you have anybody ever come in here and just hey, I just want to just straight neat?
Yeah, a good amount. Like whenever we're like especially pouring flights, they're
Okay.
always getting the vodka as one of them.
Okay, sure. Interesting.
I feel like for vodka, people compare a lot. It's like bourbons,
Oh, yeah.
but it's almost like who can be the most neutral.
Oh,
And,
this is
less
exactly
flavor almost.
what you're shooting for.
That's what you're shooting for.
Okay, gotcha.
So, a Tito's is super clean, but, how do you stack up? And some have more flavor than others.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my
That's like
son
water.
came
Thank
home
you.
with
I
an
know.
Icelandic bottle of
Appreciate
vodka, and it was like drinking water.
Y'all
Yeah.
watching know.
That's the goal. I mean,
Oh, you can't even smell it.
Yeah, I mean it's neutral, all right. You
What's
put,
my license plate again?
you can put that in a water bottle.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Take this home with me. It's Monday morning.
So, what projects do you guys have coming up? I'm sure you guys are dingling at some things. So, what's going on that end of things?
he likes it. I like it.
You like that?
That's good.
Flashbacks? Give me flashbacks?
No, that's
That's a good thing.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, very good.
I could
That
drink
is-
this with a little lime over ice and not have.
Yeah.
That's the vodka goal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. So, projects. So what we're really excited about post-COVID in like 17, 18, 19, when we first opened up down here, we're kind of off the beaten path a little bit. It's not quite OTR. It's not quite business district. So we were trying to get people here because there wasn't a lot of foot traffic. But now the big Kroger building's down the block, and there's a lot of people living in the neighborhood and great community down here.
Yeah.
FC games are hopping down here. It's always fun. So doing more, bring almost collaborations in, whether it's a local artist or artisan. One of our regulars, big FC supporters club, he does hot sauces.
Yeah, he
So,
makes
we're gonna
hot
do
sauce.
he leaves them in here. He makes them for everybody.
Nice.
It's like a hot sauce making event.
I'm not sure
paired
what part
with-
you got me at, FC or hot sauces. I love them both.
Exactly. So we get a kind of an eclectic group of people coming through, and we have this beautiful white wall on the side of our building. And our old branding, which you guys have probably seen the old bottles before, our old logos and everything, we had a big mural on the side. And after COVID, it was kind of like, we changed the branding and kind of, upgraded everything a little bit. And we got rid of the mural. So we're going to bring in local artists to do a
nice.
series of murals along that wall, multiple. We're still working through the details of how many. We're actually just talking about it this morning. And then during Blink, which we're right in we have the most beautiful mural out back. We're right in the middle of everything for Blink and get the public to try to vote on their favorite 3 or 4
there you
murals and then do a limited release of maybe that bourbon or, a different gin. Bring Quartz in to do one of his original gins from 10 years ago and do a release with that artist's design on the label.
So that goes into my
run.
next question, actually, I was going to ask, is you guys, unlike a lot of distillers, at least I know, you guys love playing around with your labels.
We went through a big overhaul, I guess, a couple years
But I like your guys' logo, so maybe explain how you guys get your logos, and then obviously there's different labels that you've had in the past. I know you guys had a Bingles run, and you had some, like you just said, but explain how that all goes.
I mean, there's no rhyme or reason, I guess. In the original batch was how do we were, no frills is the term that is on everything you'll see. And back then it was very basic. It was the barn, and there was a couple of guys like you guys, sitting on Thursday night doing your show, or Monday night whenever
Yeah.
you record your shows. It was kind of the same concept. Get together, have a reason to get together, and there's no pretenses, no frills. It's just enjoying community over a spirit,
Okay.
right? And I think that's where the original logos and labeling all came from. It's very basic. And we've since evolved. In some of the older bottles, you'll see on the back of the labels, when you look in the backside through the clear spirits, you can see the old barn. We had the image on the back of the labels. And it had snakes on it, because we used to have snakes in the barn all the time. And there was some big snakes in the barn. It was wild. So we tried to tie all that into it. And
Instead of warm and tequila, you can have snakes in your bourbon.
they were coming out of the ceiling. It was wild.
It's actually pretty cool. We still pay homage to that. So it's actually, if you feel the label, it's a snake print label.
Oh, really?
Oh, and you can see it on the back.
Yep.
You can see
And
it.
the inside, you can see it through the
Oh,
clears.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel that
That's really
label.
cool.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I guess the definition of like the artisan, right, is playing around and ever evolving, and I think that's where we are. We're not some big brand that's going to put out the same product time and time again. That's boring. So playing around with it is fun.
I had a conversation, I think, with you. You're not going to remember this because you guys get so many patrons in here. We came in here last year, and we're just, whatever, checking you guys out. If I remember correctly, you guys have an 8-year coming out, or no? Was it a lot more aged barrel, an older aged barrel coming out, and you guys decided whether or not to release that, or?
That may have been that time.
We started talking about it back then. We were
starting to talk. I think it was that. I just didn't have the dates on it right.
Oh, okay. Is it?
But I'm pretty sure it was that 10 year if I was talking about it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So, is that we're still a few years off of that?
No, that's what I was talking about.
That's
before.
summer.
Oh. Well, can't wait.
Give it a little taste later.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We tapped the barrel last week to see how it was
I
going.
got excited last year when you told
It's
me,
pretty good.
and I remember it's been about that time from now. Oh man, I'm excited.
It's good. It's like rocket fuel, but it's good.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
It's a little events like that, bringing in people, doing different things, tying into Blink. There was Asian Food Fest, is like Taste of Cincinnati. It's this huge festival down here, and it's right on Court Street. And how many? They said they had over 100,000 people or something. I mean,
For Asian Food Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
it was massive, and it was great. We were serving out the back and the front and everything, and got a lot of, all the food vendors that were here, kind of building relationships with them. There was a girl, a boba, the tea truck. She was making the saying it right, the boba teas,
Yeah.
and we made a drink
Yeah.
with it in a sense,
Yes.
and it was unreal. So we're gonna have her back for an event and do a whole thing
nice.
outside before an FC game. Get your boba tea and get it with vodka or something like that.
Okay.
It paired well.
Yeah.
I saw you guys were also at the Cincinnati Beer Fest.
Yeah, that's that was my little baby right
Was
there.
it?
Yeah.
There's one tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
In
up
Oakley.
at Oakley Beer Fest tomorrow.
Ooh. Wow.
All
At
right,
the eatery by MedPace there, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I know that's. Oh yeah. I know that's it.
Yeah, we had that ring toss game last time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I saw that. A lot of people just walking up, dropping their rings
Yeah.
on bottles.
All right. Anything else that the viewers should know about Northside? If not, why don't you tell the viewers exactly how to find you guys as far as here in Cincinnati, address and all that kind of stuff, and then website.
Go for it.
I mean, we're open for the public Friday and Saturday. So we're open from 4 to 8 on Friday, and then Saturday at noon to 8. Our website address is just Northside Distilling, and then you can find us on both Instagram and Facebook. I believe both of them are also just Northside Distilling.
And the address here is at 9.
922 race.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
One other question. You guys were like the first distiller down
Yes.
here since
Downtown, yeah.
Yeah. Downtown.
Yep.
Um,
It's changed a lot in the past
It has.
10 years,
Yeah.
the landscape.
now, when you after you distill, where do you barrel here on the store here on
Everything's
site?
in sight.
Wow.
On
okay.
site.
And that's unique.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very.
So we're not even talking MGP.
right.
That's why we're so.
I mean, I know, but you control everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And
We've done blends before with some MGP stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, but ultimately you do control everything that you guys
Oh
put
yeah,
out.
everything gets redistilled,
Yeah.
bottled, packaged. Everything's in house here.
Yeah.
Yes, we see the label machine back there. We upgraded the label machine. It's a little
I
nicer.
think-
Than the three.
I think that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is, that is, that's
our
great.
brewer made our own canning thing. I mean,
Some kind of rig.
He rigged it all up, and
That's the fun part of it.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's what we love. We come up with an idea, we figure it out, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
us,
our sign-in board, the chalkboard out there.
like for us, we bottle 4 bottles at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, what you guys are doing is great. You know, and like I said, it wasn't set up before as far as we
It's too
just
funny.
ironically had our 12 bottle blind like we do every quarter. And I happened to grab that bottle, not even thinking that it was going to win. I was going to be happy, honestly, if I was like half or better, 50%, you know, above
Yeah.
the
Because you
50%,
certainly don't wanna
especially for a local distillery. Because honestly, and I'm being honest with you, when Jeff will agree with this, when we see a local distiller, we kind of like we're very cautious, and honestly, we are just because it's our own backyard. It's not something that's a major brand, and you know, you see what I'm saying, Jeff?
Well, yeah, I have seen this on the shelf many times, but in the back of my mind, going, oh yeah, Cincinnati, it's not Kentucky, and you know, walked past and didn't pick it up. But then having our tasting changed my mind on that.
We will definitely be picking it up.
Definitely
now.
pick
I love
it up and see it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's why we encourage you, everybody at home, to have these tastings because you never know what you're going to come
Right.
across. We would never have, well, at least I knew Northside, but the group would never have known Northside had we not done that. And just like other bottles that we've mentioned on the shows that have become a permanent staple on our show, I think Northside is on its way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that, guys. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely great. Great
Make sure
stuff.
Ben knows he won. That's what you're going to call Ben as soon as you're done here and tell him.
You won.
And if we're giving I want to give a shout out to Chase. I won't say his last name like I did that one time. But he's the one that told us to come down here originally last year. He came down here first. He's like, dude, you guys, you got to come down to the Northside, check it out, and all that kind of stuff. And that's when we first started last fall, Bob and I, with this podcast. Obviously, it has grown. But thank you, Chase, for pointing this out. So, you know, word of mouth is always huge.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
Yep.
You guys are welcome here anytime, for sure.
All right.
Come on down.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Match
Well,
together.
Oh well, yeah, I'm up for that.
Put some work.
we are gonna have a quick segment, and we'll do this in the next segment. We're gonna take a little tiny tour of what they got going on in the back, and I'll show that on the back end of this episode. But until then, I appreciate everybody coming in on this on location episode. Until next time, I'm Charlie.
I'm Beth.
And I'm Jeff.
All right, we'll see you guys.
See
Just
you.
love it.
Bye.
So these stills are bigger than the ones we started with.
Okay.
So these are, I think they were 20-some gallons. I can't remember exactly the capacity. But the ones we started with, I think it was an 8 or 9 gallon still I started with.
Okay.
And then we upgraded to these. And then when we came down here, obviously updated to the big boys. But yeah, same hot water tank from the old barn.
Okay.
So that's the hot water tank, and the gravity fills the mash tun there. And then it, you know, pumps all over the place, but it's based on what's going on with it.
Man, that is so dark.
I know, that's what we
That is so awesome. I love. You can just tell it's a 10-year.
We got a bunch of we do a bottle recycling for all our regulars.
It'd be nice if, and no one does it, if someone made a plastic link hair.
Yeah,
You know?
that didn't get all tarnished up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, cheers. Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much.
a bottle recycle, people bring back their
We have all our regulars bring in our bottles. You get $2 off. We give $2 for the bottle, basically. And
I mean, it's a full body.
it's good, right?
It's got the heat.
Put
It's
this, put this,
well, it's in there at 130.
put this sucker through the blind. See what happens.
We'll save you one when we do finally get there.
Yes, please. Wow,
That is.
that is phenomenal.
It's good though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I first tried it a couple weeks ago, the first time, it was like,
It's got some like deep chocolate, like it's got some deep flavors,
Yeah, very
some
phenomenal.
dark flavors.
and I couldn't even tell you where we got that. We were buying barrels. At the time, we were trying to find charred new oak barrels, and it was hard to find someone that would sell 1 or 2 at a time to us. Not, you know, a 20 lot or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like a dark cherry, dark
I
coffee.
forget what cooperage we even got it from.
Very good.
It was definitely in Kentucky somewhere, but I don't remember the name of the place.
And the barrel right down here, that's it's a rye, so it's still
Okay.
in the works.
We started playing around with agave and barrels. There's a couple of little agave barrels up there from 2-3 years ago, just to sample them out.
2-year Añejo in there.
Really? So when is this coming up?
I'm not sure yet. Oh, hey, Gretchen.
Hey. Guys.
Hello. You're on camera.
So yeah, we don't know when yet. We haven't figured out a game plan. Strategic releases, because there's an aged rum back there as well. It's not in the house. And that's been, I forget the date on that.
I like how that ironically says low fruit.
Yeah.
Like I'll trick my ass.
It's delicious. It is. It's got dark cherry, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
It's nice.
dark.
It'll be good.